This video tutorial is provided by the College of Graduate Studies at UCF. In this video, I will review the requirements for using subheadings and demonstrate how to modify and apply word styles to subheadings. Although the use of subheadings is not required within an ETD, we have a few requirements for those who choose to use subheadings within their document. Up to 5 subheading levels may be used within each chapter or major section. Check the style manual for your discipline to see if they have any further limitations. APA, for example, only permits 4 subheadings. Each subheading must have adequate and consistent space above and below to separate it from surrounding text. We recommend 2 extra lines of space above and 1 line of space below. Each subheading must also be on the same page as its respective section. Do not place the subheading title on one page and its body text on the next page. Subheadings also require the use of word styles in order to be linked within the table of contents and bookmarked by the PDF file. We can modify words' pre-existing styles to accomplish this. As Heading 1 is used for chapter headings, we will use Heading 2 for the first level subheading, Heading 3 for the second level subheading, and so on. In our document so far, we have each section set up with formatted chapter headings and page breaks to ensure that each chapter heading starts on a new page. I'll turn on the Show Hide All Formatting button in order to see any hard returns that may be creating unnecessary space. Because this is a first level subheading, I'm going to use the Heading 2 style. However, I need to modify it first. In the Styles section of the Home tab, click the small gray arrow in the bottom right corner. This opens the Style window. Hover the cursor over Heading 2 and the small arrow should appear to the right. Click the arrow and choose Modify from the drop-down menu. Because this style is based on the normal style, your formatting options may look different if you have already modified the normal style. I'm going to change the font to Times New Roman, the font size to 12 point, turn off bold, and change the font color to black. The Thesis and Dissertation Manual offers 2 ways for you to format the subheadings based on personal preference. If your discipline style guide has formatting requirements for subheadings, you may use those instead. This menu will allow you to make any changes necessary for first-level subheadings. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the Thesis and Dissertation Manual subheading guidelines. For first-level subheadings, you can either have the text centered, underlined, and typed in title caps, or centered with no underlining and typed in title caps. I'm going to choose the first option for this example, so I will center the text and underline it. My subheading title is already typed in title caps with the first letter of each word capitalized. To ensure adequate spacing, I'll go to the Format menu in the bottom left corner and select Paragraph from the drop-down menu. In this menu, I will change the spacing before to 24 point to ensure 2 lines above the subheading. I will also change the spacing after to 12 point to insert 1 line of space after the subheading. If you haven't already, change the line spacing to single to be sure that Word does not insert any extra space. If you chose to include a first line indent in the normal style, you will need to remove this indentation from the subheading to be sure that its alignment is not off-center. Go to the Special menu and change the indentation to None. Be sure to also check the box Do Not Add Space between paragraphs of the same style. Click OK until you return to the document. Place the cursor in front of the title and select Heading 2 to apply the style. You will see a small black square along the left margin to indicate that the style has been applied to this text. For second, third, and fourth level subheadings, repeat the steps for modifying the style using the next heading style available through Word. For second level subheadings, you will modify the Heading 3 style. For third level subheadings, you will modify the Heading 4 style, and so on. Be sure to consult either the Thesis and Dissertation Style Manual or your discipline-specific style guide for instructions on how to format subheadings. You can see the Thesis and Dissertation Manual options for formatting subheadings here. If you choose the first option for the first level subheading, you must use the first option for each subsequent subheading in order to maintain consistency and organization. This concludes the video tutorial for subheadings. If you have any further questions, please use the ETD Help Request form on the Thesis and Dissertation Services website. The next video in the series will cover the use of tables.